Walk away in disgust. Oh, right. He's fallen off his wheelbarrow. It fools me. No, beautiful. Munch, munch, munch. Oh my god. Fangs. Whittlebury Park, home to Whittlebury Hall.
Hi! Good boys.
I mean, this feels like a classic car venue, not a Japanese car venue. It looks very pish. Some golfists doing their golf, and a Toyota Sora with a spoiler. Yes, I am, yes. Lovely, thank you very much. Got some more, Harry? I thought I saw a Sora. So they're all down there. That's where all the JDM machines are. It looks pretty big. Can't see any non-JDM cars other than mine. The Sora is wide-bodied, as you can see. So there are the JDM whips, and here I come without a JDM whip. So here we are parked up with a lot of Japanese cars, and funny enough, not a lot of non-Japanese cars, but we've got this S14 rolling in the grass. It's quite tall grass and rather low cars as well. That's probably what my Cobra looked like as I was rolling in, trying to avoid all the little lumps and bumps. There's an R34 behind it, you will see, and a DC5. In fact, we have quite a few arrivals turning up now. Got the R34, an S2000, an R33 next to that, and a Mitsubishi GTO looking a lot like a NSX. That's what I thought it was initially, but no. That looks arty in the sun, doesn't it? Nice views, Subaru. But to be honest, the caliber of car here is pretty extraordinary. So yes, we've got my non-Japanese Cobra replica on display with a sea of JDM whips, including the Sora that we were following in with its wide arches and large spoiler on the back, and a pink Mitsubishi FTO which is actually white, and there's also a mixture of baby blue details, including the stripe, the Mitsubishi logo, the calipers, and even the grills. And further down the line we've got this old Toyota Carina, we've got an MX-5, we've got a Subaru looking very clean next to the Starlet and the Nissan Cube. And on the row opposite we've got a large lineup of Nissan Skylines. So we start with the Tomicaira R34, we've got 3 R33s next to it, and then another R34. This one is a 4-door, and then the R32, an R33, another R34, and an R33 GTR finishing the lineup. The owner of this MX-5 couldn't decide which option to go for colour-wise. Oh look, how unoriginal, a Nissan 350Z convertible, and the S2000 crew rolling in with their squeaky brakes. This is a BZR in the style of the GTR logo. I heard a pug. Oh, there he is.
I love them.
You've also got Donald Trump kissing Kim Jong-un. Oh look, it's Nyan Cats. Who remembers Nyan Cats, or Nyan Cats as some people call it, on the Subaru Forester? Oh, wow. We also have a minty green Civic next to the Type R, Suzuki Swift, Yaris, Mr. 2, and a Glanza next to a Toyota Supra. We've got 2 GT86s, this one I shall call Scarface. So here is the legend that is Nyan Cat.
There's a cat at the Pop-Tart. That's the Pop-Tart. And it got me into Pop-Tarts.
Was it Pop-Tarts? Yeah. There's also a website, and it had a song, didn't it? And here we have a two-tone Nissan PS13 with a 118 model of himself on the dashboard. Oh, it's a Micra with some Pringles, the 2 worst flavours, and some Panda brand oyster sauce.
I'm judging his taste buds.
Yeah, normally we judge people's taste in cars, but we're judging his actual taste buds this time. We've got the Subaru, and here is the Mitsubishi GTO with a spoiler on the back, and some vents that don't vent. And then we've got the R33. He must have very wide legs to be able to ride 500 horses. And then at the front of the lineup we've got this S14 that we saw roll in earlier. Oh, he's only gone and left his rear bumper at home. Now here we have this R34. It's got the GTR logo, the GTR bumper, the GTR wheels, and the 4 doors. It's not a GTR. It has 4 doors, but it's got all the bits of the GTR to suggest that maybe it has a GTR engine. I doubt it has the GTR drivetrain, but I might be wrong. It's got a little ducktail on the back. There's no GTR logo on the back, but yeah, there's no fooling us. It's a 4-door. They didn't make the R34 GTR in a 4-door. However, this is an R34 GTR. He's even got some canards on the front of it, but I really do like the colour on this 4-door GTR. Then we have the Nissan 350Z convertible with the angry headlights next to a Civic Type R and a Civic Casey Price.
Civic what?
Civic Casey Price.
Civic children.
You get it, you get it. Walk away in disgust. It seems this 350Z used to have a Z350 badge on it that has been taken off. And then we've got the Nissan Bluebird, which is next to another 350Z. This one has his profession on the number plate.
Oh, and even below.
Oh, and even below as well, just in case you can't read the number plates, he's written in actual lettering. And then we have a lineup of both Zenki and Kuki S14. This one has a bit of a sticker showcase on it. Don't worry, I zip-tied it. A beardless drifter must be one of those lesbian fellows. You'll notice that the gear stick from this S14 is the handle from a screwdriver. But coming around the front of them though, it appears they're both Zenki S14s, even though this one has the later rear end. This one is for sale for £9,500 or nearest offer, and the owner of this Honda Spike found a new way to draw attention to his car, or to find it later on when he gets lost. Yeah, flags. Next door of which is a very clean Toyota Yaris, which has the import VITS badge and number plate on the back. We've got a Honda CRZ with Chucky on the dashboard. What's he doing here?
He's driven the car here, of course.
Next door of which is another non-Japanese car, thank goodness. We have a Volvo on display next to a lineup of Toyota Mr. 2s. Why does this Mark 1 MX-5 look like he's been up to no good? What's he been up to? Oh, he's been supercharged. That's what he's been up to. There is a modern Nissan Micra with a Nismo badge on it next to a Toyota Celica in turquoise and a Honda Civic in pink. And in front of this main section is the show and shine section. We've got a collection of 350Zs coming in and an S15 behind it. So I hope everyone's handbrakes are working well today, because there's a bit of a slope and they're all facing downwards. That's going to create quite a spectacle later if someone's handbrake doesn't quite hold up. And we have a Mark IV Supra with the 2J on display. And then initially I thought this had a giant spoiler. Well, it does have a giant spoiler. I thought the spoiler was even bigger than it was, but no, the boot's just open, which makes it look even more spectacular with the bonnet open as well. The front splitter, which comes out like by a mile. It looks incredible. It's got the tyre icing, the rotors, even bolt-on wide arches as well. And the engine bay has had a lot of blue touches. Now, I faintly remember my RX-8 engine bay, and it was a lot more bland than this one appears to be. I couldn't actually see any of this stuff. There's just engine covers everywhere. And even when you take the plastic covers off, it looks nothing like this. So he has spent a lot of time and effort getting his engine bay to this stage. It's a shame, it's going to blow up tomorrow. No. And then obviously, being an RX-8, the tow hook has to be permanently out. And we've got this Suzuki Swift, which is equally as customized. We move on to the Subaru, which is very clean, blue with the gold wheels, classic style. This has also had a lot of work done to the engine bay to tidy it up. We've got a Pulsar GTI-R next to it with Toyo Proxy tyre icing, a lineup of Hondas here, including the wide-body DC2 that we saw fairly recently at an evening meet. Nice to see it's in the daytime. We've got the EK9 Type R, who is parked rather beautifully in front of the lake. He's had a headlights delete. Normally they have twin headlights, but this one doesn't. Now, if you come around to the back of the EK9, you can look at the lake and see the art of the reflections of the cars on the other side. Unfortunately, it's a bit too windy to create true art, but there is a bit of art, especially in the reflection of the yellow R32. So we venture back up to the Polestar with an almost infinite amount of vents on the bonnet and spotlights on the front, including an intake hole, and apparently the dashboard is something to behold. Yes, indeed it is. What even are they? Skulls, or like Jester's face, or Vikings? I'm going to say something like a Viking troll. Oh look! Someone's brought a shed! What? Yes, we have a shed driving into the car meet. So someone's brought their shed. A lot of these cars are built in sheds, whereas he's brought the shed along because it's a lot easier. We've got these two imported cars. Well, they're Nissans, but I don't know what Nissan they are, so I'm just going to call them cars. I think they're Cima, or it's spelled C-I-M-A. I don't know how it's pronounced. Cima or Kima, or it's a V. Cima. There we go, I know for future, thank you. Oh look, he's got his champagne on display. There's one for you.
Exactly, that's perfect for the passenger just sat there like, yeah.
Oh, I have to go over to the shed. The other cars can wait a second. I'm going to film this shed. So this is the named world fastest shed with a shed load of dancing flowers on the dashboard. The driver sits really far back. I thought they were rear seats, but no, they are the driver's seats. It's like having a Dodge Viper bonnet in front of you. We've got the classic shed roofing on top of the engine. Oh, and air ride apparently. They must have come from quite far today because this guy has died whilst waiting to get here. His other car is a Porsche. That's funny. So here is the dashboard. So Volkswagen. You can see how much wider than a normal car dashboard this one is, how much wider than a normal car this is. Aerodynamics I can't imagine to be its forte. It's apparently got a V6 and there is something coming out of the shed. It's the Barrow of Speed. I think that's the world's fastest wheelbarrow. This chap is called Freddy the Sheddy. He has a bit of shedness about him too. Oh right. It all makes sense now.
I've just made a lot of modifications to it. This is the first test to see if it works.
There we go, there goes Freddy the Sheddy. Oh
no, broke it already.
So whilst Freddy the Sheddy is being repaired, we can have a look at the Barrow of Speed in front of the world's fastest shed with its 4 exhaust on the back and a tow bar as well. Here is the interior of the back of the shed. It is still shed-like.
What about this thing?
He's riding his wheelbarrow now. That's what's happening. Oh, he's fallen off his wheelbarrow. So yeah, here's Freddy the Sheddy. Unfortunately, he seems to be broken now. Here's his rear door. I don't think that actually does door. Ah, the bonnet is up on the world's fastest shed for us to have a look at. So that is a V8 from an Audi RS4 despite its V6 badges on the front of it.
That fools people.
It fools me. So to confirm, it is a Volkswagen Passat underneath with a B7 Audi RS4 V8 under the hood, and everyone is just fascinated by it, as I am as well. So whilst everyone is crowded around the world's fastest shed, as promised we will go back and have another look at the show and shine cars. We've got this S15 with the chameleon colour, and back to these 2 Nissan Seamers, we also have a bit of a Buzazuku car behind them. Now you may notice the anime girl on the bonnet. You may also notice the sparkly stars. The wing-mounted wing mirrors are also apparent, and the pokey-outy bits too. But the real show and shine star of the show is the exhaust of the Mitsubishi. That is a proper Buzazuku style exhaust on the back. Look at the shadow, it comes out there. Let's get a shot of the car with the shadow. There we go, bit of art there. Beautiful. And it does work as an exhaust. There is the exit hole. Oh wow, thank you. Thank you very much. So I've just been surprised by a young fan of mine with an Everyone Loves the White Chaser t-shirt on with a small toy Cobra. I'm going to put this on display on my Cobra, so thank you very much for the Cobra. So I will put this back on the dashboard of the car when I'm next at it. In fact, I need to go back to the car now. I have to put it on the dash now. I'll come back to these lot later. So we are wandering back to the car. I've just noticed a yellow RX-7 down there, but we're going to put the Shelby Cobra 427 SC on the dashboard. Oh, we also have a feature car from the Super Coupe YouTube channel. I know, it can go down there. There we go. So there we have the Cobra on display inside mine. So we should probably have a look at some of the new oh, they're actually leaving. So I was going to say we're going to have a look at these new arrivals. The RX-7 is leaving unless he is relocating into the show and shine section, because he looks like he belongs there. It looks fantastic. Let's have a listen to it as well. It looks like a Corvette C5 though. It is mowing a lawn. There he goes. So we've now got a nice flat piece of lawn for any other cars to drive through. Very kind of him. Oh, I didn't notice that earlier. There's a spoiler with an MX-5 attached to it. He's doing some more revolutions. Blop, 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 blop. This R33 has brave front wheels, but not on the rear, and a unique accessory tied to them. So it is heating up, and we are going to have another look at the show and shine cars that we hadn't already seen before I went to put the Hot Wheels car on the Cobra, because there are a lot more overlooking the beautiful lake. And I think even more have arrived since we were down there, so we're going to have even more cars to look at. So one of the latest arrivals is this bronze chaser. Everyone loves a slightly bronze chaser. But nearing the other half of the show and shine section, we can see the R34 four-door has got in there, as well as the Rocket Bunny GT86 that we saw on the way down here. We have a very clean Mitsubishi FTO that we have seen recently next to a really nice R32. Has that got some kind of wide front end on it? I really like the front bumper on that. It looks clean with its RB26 on display, and another very large turbo next to Supra, a Mark IV Supra. Next door to a black R34 and a red Mazda RX-7. There's quite a few RX-7s around recently, I've seen at shows. I'm not complaining. And in front of that, we've got the very custom 350Z widebody that we saw at the previous Yakushi show, with some Japanese lettering engraved into the rear of the arches. Next door to a yellow S15 with white wheels, which works really nicely. Next door to him is this Mr. 2, which has his wheels turned so we can get some cool angles. It looks quite nice, that one. I like the red half splitters on it. And then this 350Z doesn't have copper wheels. They are rose gold. They are very, very rose gold. They do not look like a 2p coin. They are rose gold, I tell you. Or bronze. No, they are rose gold wheels on the 350Z next to this blue one with white wheels and a black rear end that we've seen before. And now we can have a look at the rear of the show. We've got the red on red Civic and this, which I absolutely adore. This CRX has a very purple engine bay and a midnight purple exterior. These really nice, these. And he's got the theme that goes munch, munch, munch. What's his name?
I don't know.
I don't know. And further down we have two R33 Skylines, including one in blue. We've got the orange Lexus, a gold R33 and a white R34. Now, as I was saying earlier of these are the central lights that the one over there has got rid of, and that's why it looks slightly different to this one. Oh my god, check out this MX-5. He's got the carbon front wings and then colour-coded arches on top of the carbon wings. That's a very unique style that I haven't seen on a car before. And then he's got this splitter around the front that flows from the arch. The rear arches are similarly as wide, and then a black ducktail on the rear. But I like the way that he's got the carbon wing with the arches bolted onto that. That looks a little bit different. Coming round the back of it, you can see the roll bar and the side rear exit exhaust, like a corner exit exhaust. Further along, we've got the 350Z and an old Celica next to two very unusual Japanese cars, one in pink and one in pale blue. I don't actually know what these cars are. They're probably some kind of K car from the Japanese domestic market. But something I do know about this pink one is that if you go around the front, it has an SR20. And we've got another Z, another R34, another CRX, an Evo, and a blue S15 next to an S14 with some vinyls down the side, making it look like the proper drifter that I'm sure it is, with the singular coloured spokes on the rims matching the calipers and the stickers down the side. You'll notice that some of the vinyls down the side flow to the front, a little bit like fangs. But I like the shade of blue on this S15. And beyond the colour flip 350Z, we've got these cars which are in front of the beautiful lake. We've got a 370Z with a spoiler on the rear and two very nicely sat R32s. I want to make a joke about these cars having bats in their bonnets and the cars eating the bats with their bonnets, but I think it's too topical at the moment. And then here are the two cars that we overtook on the way down here, the Torino and the GT86. And behind the MX-5 and GTR we have these two R32s in a similar colour to each other. Look spectacular. Two midnight purple R32 GTRs with carbon bonnets, and someone's done an oopsie. And beyond the blue example, we've got this which looks fairly standard from an aesthetic point of view, but inside we have an LS, and this is about 600 horsepower. It's a 4 1.54 cubic inch engine. That is about 7.4 litre V8 in a 350Z. That is wild. And finally we've got the Glanzer, Evo and Integra Type R, and that was pretty much all of the show and shine section. We've also got the Celica over there with the blue plexiglass on the front that I missed. Seen at a few events before as well. This was the highlight for me. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. I'm doing the standard YouTuber thing. Let me know in the comments below.
I've noticed you started doing
that. It gets people commenting. But we're going to grab some food now and then probably go, because we're heading up north for a show that's on tomorrow in the Cobra, and that is the actual reason that we brought the Cobra here, because I was already heading this direction anyway. Thought there's no point bringing the Nissan and then going back down south and then coming up with the Cobra tomorrow, so I brought the Cobra here, intruding on all the Japanese cars, and I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Just having lunch, got a magic trick for you. I've got this ball in my hand, I'm going to throw it in the air, shoot the bag, got another ball, throw it in the air. Oh, there it goes, it's in the bag. There's nothing in there. But anyway, we're just heading back to the car, and I've just noticed this sign here. It says, don't be a PENIS, performing donuts, burnouts, engaging launch control, hard acceleration, not obeying event and venue rules, ignorance of other people, and speeding and generally driving like a tool. Don't do that. But there we are, right at the end of the show. As these two R32s are leaving, I shall leave too. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Follow me on Instagram for all the highlights about this car and the meets that I take it to. But for now, thanks for watching, and subscribe, please. Ding.